All right, this is Dr. Dan Ritchie, president of the Functional Aging Institute, and I've got here with me Todd. Is it Kasikalix? How do you say your last name, Todd? I butcher it every time.
No, that's all right. It's Kushlikas.
Kushlikas. Okay, I've heard people call you Todd Chicklets before, but I sure was pretty sure that wasn't right.
That works too. I've gotten everything in between.
Yeah. So, well, I've known Todd for a couple of years now in the online fitness industry, and all of a sudden the guy kind of dropped off the map, and he kind of disappeared, and I realized he had snuck off to Silicon Valley to hang out with the big time tech folks, and he's put together something pretty cool. So, Todd, I'm going to hand it over to you. I think you've got the screen controls there. Is that working for you? Are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, let me see. Let me know when you see it.
Yep, I'm seeing it. So the future of online fitness there. So, all right, Todd. Well, thanks for doing this. And if you want to give us a little more of your backstory or intro, you need to. The time is yours.
For sure. Thanks so much, Dan, and thank you everyone for joining the webinar. My name is Todd Kushlikas, as Dan mentioned, and what we're going to be doing today is talking about the future of online fitness. And as Dan mentioned, we've got something really exciting going out here in Silicon Valley, and what Dan and many other fitness experts have called the Netflix of fitness. And really it's an exciting time for all of us, and especially you, because you as the trainer, as the fitness expert, are the key to it all. And I'm going to explain what that means and why that's important, and why being on the call is a critical time in the fitness industry, because there are a lot of trends that are culminating to this point. And what I'm not going to do is talk about the benefits of online fitness. I think we've heard that over the years, and you as a trainer have heard, that you're trading time for dollars, and you can train one-on-one and train on group fitness classes and whatnot. And we as a trainer know that we need to be online, but there are so many hurdles to getting online, and so what we're doing is taking away those hurdles so that any trainer in the world can reach a global audience and make an incredible income online. And I want to start off just sharing a little bit about my backstory. As Dan mentioned, I kind of dropped off the face of the earth in the online space, but for 5 years built up a site that's now generating about 50 to 60,000 a month online, and mostly passive. So I spend about an hour a week online doing that. And really the only reason I share that with you is to share with you that it's possible, that any trainer can make an incredible income online with the right tools, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So just to give you a little bit about my backstory, is about 5 years ago I started up a website, an online training site called A Shot of Adrenaline, and really it's centered around body weight strength training, just using your own body weight pull-ups and push-ups and whatnot. But I got the start of the idea about 5 years ago when I was passionate about body weight exercises, but all I did is really just take if you guys remember that old flip video camera, those things that you'd sell for $100 and you can just take a quick video of yourself and upload it to YouTube or some other site. What I did is I uploaded a bunch of short videos of me, like a minute or 2 minutes long, teaching how to do a Hindu push-up or a Hindu squat or a diver bomber or a dolphin push-up. And what happened is I uploaded it, and all of a sudden I found these videos being embedded on these random like Indian and Chinese blogs and forums where I couldn't read any of the text, above my video or below my video. And but there I was, like in the midst of this forum of people talking about this style of training. So it sparked an idea in my mind that there's actually an opportunity around bodyweight exercises. And so I started to build a site around that. And over the next 5 years, learned the online marketing game to the point where we're at about, like I said, 50 to 60K a month. We've got about almost 105,000 email subscribers, and without any paid advertising. And then we're generating get about 6,000 to 7,000 visitors a day to the blog. And again, I share that with you mostly just to say that there is huge opportunity online to make a great income, but the process is challenging. And I want to talk a little bit about the conventional wisdom of getting online, and really just to set the framework of why this new wave in the industry, the future of fitness, is actually taking away the hardest elements for getting online, and why the path for getting online for any trainer in the world, including you, is much faster, and the opportunities are actually much greater. So I want to talk a little bit about that process. And so the first step, if you're an average trainer or just any trainer and you want to get online, the first thing to think about is, well, I probably have to have some type of presence online, right? You got to have a website. And so you start researching, maybe you build a WordPress blog, and maybe you've already done this and you already have a blog and you're thinking, well, how do I get traffic to it? So you think about driving traffic to the website, and maybe that's through social media and creating a social media account, and, well, capturing opt-ins. So what does that mean? It's actually, people say the money is in the list, right? So you build the list and you try to get that traffic from your website onto an email list where you can actually send out newsletters and things like that. And that's where you have to learn how to email market. You have to learn how to write copy, which just means it's just a fancy word for writing language that will help drive people to maybe a certain sales page, or speak to them in a way to drive some type of action. And then what about setting up an autoresponder? You've got set up an autoresponder is just a series of emails that get sent out automatically. And so you've got to set up that. And then affiliate marketing. What is affiliate marketing? It's finding promotions that might resonate with your list, and sending emails to your list and finding those promotions. And really, this slide is just to show you the why most trainers don't go online, right? It's like as we go on, product creation, you got to learn long-form sales copywriting and finding a niche. You got to learn customer service, and maybe finding a customer service representative, and dealing with chargebacks and refunds, and setting up a membership site. And so the process for getting online for a trainer is difficult, and we know that, and that's why a lot of experts have created processes to help trainers get online and get online faster. And so what we're doing is trying to streamline things even faster, because the trainer really wants a couple things. They want to help people with their fitness goals. You've got a passion. Maybe you're an expert in Zumba, or an expert in strength training or CrossFit, or you might have some type of expertise or main area of interest. And then, of course, you want to make money. You want to support your family, and maybe even have a lifestyle business where you're not glued to early morning training sessions at 5 a.m. and training sessions during supper or lunch. You're not glued to that time. You can do training sessions whenever you want. And so what we're striving to do out here in Silicon Valley, and why Dan and a lot of other experts are calling this the next wave of the fitness industry, is because what we're doing is we're taking out the barriers of entry for online training, where building a website is no longer needed, email marketing, sales copy, like all those processes for building your online business is taken out, so you can get in faster. And really what you focus on is helping people in leading content and leading workouts. And so I just wanted to share that, a little bit about my backstory of building an online fitness site and the challenges that go along with it. And then what I want to do now is just transition to where we are at right now, and the opportunity for you guys and what we're building. And that's why Dan was so excited, and I know we've chatted for a little while now. And this is why I've even transitioned out of my other businesses, because we've got this huge opportunity in front of us, where what we're doing is creating, just like Dan said, like a Netflix for fitness, or a Periscope for fitness, where online trainers can broadcast classes in any area of fitness to literally thousands of people. And then those individuals are able to watch you and follow along with your training, and actually even connect in small groups. And so this is just a screenshot of the site, and I'm actually in a little bit just going to give you kind of a sneak peek, a behind the scenes look at the site that we've built called Rally All. But this is essentially on the left. Here's the trainer, where all you need is a webcam, and you click start. You create a free trainer profile, so there's no cost to this, and you create this profile, and you create a class with whatever passionate area that you're interested in, and then people start to register for that class, and then whenever time you set up the class to start, you start the class using your webcam that's already available to you through your tablet or your computer. You can see that little circle right above you, above your screen. It's probably a black circle. That's all you need to get online and make a great income online. And so that's what we've done, is created this platform where users have access to live training classes in any area of fitness. And really what we're doing is trying to solve two main problems. One is the trainer problem, which is the problem that you guys are experiencing right now is scale. How do you scale your business? Doing one-on-one training or even group training, we realize that the opportunity is online, but how do we actually scale? And so, but then the other problem is in the home fitness sector. And you know, we've seen the industry shift over the years. People purchasing fitness videos and DVDs, and you know, they get it home and you know, they're excited to use it, but it's only one workout. So most of those DVDs end up on people's shelves collecting dust. You know, same thing with fitness equipment. People buy a Bowflex or a Total Gym or an ab lounger, and what happens to 99% of that equipment? You know, it ends up in people's basements as an expensive clothes rack. And the reason is because there's no real community or accountability online. And so we've seen these industry shifts where fitness experts are now to the point they're realizing that, oh, I can put up videos on YouTube, and YouTube is great, but really YouTube is a search engine for videos, right? It's not real community. And so what Rally All does is it creates a place for trainers to create real community around fitness classes. And so we envision a day where no longer are people using a P90X workout video to work out to, but they're actually plugging into a P90X community, right, where they can actually see friends that are doing P90X in real time, whether they're beginner, intermediate, advanced, and being led by you, the trainer, whether it be a P90X or it could be whatever style of training that you are an expertise in. And you can build a global following you know, around a certain fitness class. And so that's what we're doing, and really the opportunity is huge. And the industry stats show that there are at least 47 million people that use fitness videos and DVDs in the U.S. alone, and the number is actually quite a bit higher than that. So there's huge opportunity for it too. So I want to take you a little bit through the revenue split. What we do is we do a 50-50 trainer split. Users essentially pay $14.95 a month for a subscription to Rally All, and then they get access to a nearly unlimited number of classes, and so that they can subscribe to, you know, yoga during the week and maybe a Pilates session on the weekend, or if they want to try a Tai Chi class or a Zumba class or a bodyweight class, and then we just simply split the revenue share with the trainers at 50-50, and then there's actually opportunities for trainers to make even more revenue from that as well. And so here's kind of brings up a little bit of an example of what as a trainer that you can make. If you have 50 regular attendees, you can make $375 a month. 200, it gets to be 1,500. 500 regular attendees. You know, it starts to scale down the line. You guys can see the opportunity for extra income. And again, the vision is really to create this global marketplace where everyone plays in. And everyone is, you know, leading these different classes at different times, and really the trainer has this opportunity to build their global following without the need to start up their own websites and without the need to learn how to do email marketing. Really just using their webcam, they can lead these classes. And so I want to take you a little bit through the site with kind of giving you a sneak peek, back-end view of the site from a user's perspective, and then even from a trainer's perspective. So this is what the site looks like. This is kind of a fake user that I just created this morning just for this webinar. And so the user ends up, they go on to the class, and then they can see an assortment of classes that they can choose from. So here's an example of a class that I lead. There's 250 members enrolled. And just like this webinar, where you get an update of when the webinar is about to begin, that's the same thing. So all you have to do as the trainer is you create the class, you name it something, you know, and then you create a little description, you decide when you want to do it, whatever time zone, whatever time fits your schedule, and then individuals are allowed to add that to their classes. Say I'm Fred, for example, and I want to add this to my classes. And boom, now the class is added to my calendar and my schedule, and so I get an update with the class from Bodyweight Todd or you know, Suzanne or whatever trainer created the class, and so I can scroll through and find different types of classes, whether they be a boot camp class or a boxing class or, you know, high intensity interval training. I can decide, you know, what my primary goals are. You know, what time of day do I want to work out? So this is really connecting and creating an interaction, a deeper level of interaction between the fitness expert, you, and individuals online that want to work out, that are struggling to do their fitness classes. And you know, we don't need to go into the numbers of gym stats of, you know, how many people actually end up in the gym. We all know that you know, it's much lower than what it should be. But it's, you know, the difficulties of getting to the gym are just so great. And so the goal of Rally All is to bring you, the trainer, to people around the world and let them lead live classes. And then so here's the classes. All your classes are actually archived and recorded, and so people can view them at later dates and check them out. They can add them to their classes and kind of create their own playlist. We're just out of the gate, so we're going to be creating, you know, unique challenges and groups that can compete against each other, etc. And so there's a lot of different things that we're going to be doing. And so each trainer, so you as an example, you as a trainer will get your own profile. And you can see, you can have an About Me section, you can create specialties, you can create different variations of classes, you could create as many classes that you want, and then those classes are all automatically tracked. And so the individual user, when they're in your class, their membership fee is now allocated to you as a trainer. And so you don't need to focus on, again, like refunds and, you know, trying to drive sales and everything else. You're focusing on what you're passionate about, which is online training. So that's a little bit of a sneak peek of what we're doing. We are live already, and so really that was one of the main purposes that Dan and I wanted to jump on the call is to share with you what's going on out here in Silicon Valley and how we are really striving to shake up this industry where you know, people are relying on, you know, fitness videos and DVDs, are just hunting through YouTube to find random workouts, and they're left alone in their own house to muster up that internal motivation to actually work out in their own home. And so what we want to strive to do is connect you as a trainer to individuals worldwide to provide that external motivation to help them achieve their goals inside a community and connect those users with other users that are doing the same workouts, all following you as an expert trainer. And so what we're doing is we're looking for trainers that are interested in jumping on the platform. You know, we've got about 100 trainers on right now. We just launched 3 weeks ago, and so we're moving fast, and there's no cost to join as a trainer. And I've included my email in here, todd@rallyall.com, and so I'd love to hear from you if you have interest. And yeah, Dan, I'll turn it to you. I'm not sure how we want to handle if there are any questions.
Yeah, there's quite a few good questions have come in, and if you all have more questions, please post those. If you're listening to the recording, I encourage you to reach out to Todd at rallyall.com. I'm sure he will answer your questions directly. But a couple of things I wanted to add, Todd, which I think you covered. The online fitness industry is just really challenging, and I think people see what you did and they're like, oh, geez, making $50,000 a month online, but they don't hear that it took you years to build that business. And so it just looks really tantalizing. It looks like something you can go do, and then you realize you can't really train clients live in person. You can't do what you want to do, which is help people. You have to learn how to build websites and write copy and do email marketing, and pretty soon you're stuck behind a computer doing something you didn't imagine. And so you've really created an opportunity for somebody to take the skill and the gift they have and immediately translate it to the online arena. And so one question I had for you is, so let's say I'm a trainer and I have a following and I have a couple hundred people that would like to train with me. Is that something I'm able to bring to you? Are they able to jump in, and obviously easily sign up for my classes?
Yes, that's right. So what we did is with Rally All, kind of the onboarding process, we created it as smooth as possible. So say you already have a clientele, you've got people that would want to train with you online. Maybe even you have like a social media following. Maybe you have 500 people that follow you on social media, or 1,000 people. So what we've done is every trainer can become an affiliate. And I can explain more details. We can get down into nitty-gritty, but because what happens is when you become a trainer and you can become an affiliate, you get a special link. And so you can share that link with your following. And so when your following comes onto Rally All, even if they don't take your class, which they will because they're your following, right? But even if they explore some of the other classes, when you become an affiliate, you get 33% lifetime commission for that individual. Okay. So the life of them on the site. So you get 33% lifetime commission, but then you're also making money on top of that when that individual actually joins your class and follows you and follows your workouts.
So if because I look at this and say, for somebody who's been dabbling in the online fitness and is about ready to throw in the towel, if they've got 500 or 1,000 followers, they can bring them to Rally All, and now they can take your fitness class. I saw Dennis Heenan, look like Diane Bailey's already doing Tai Chi for you. I mean, like, I'm never going to offer Tai Chi, but I think Diane has one of the best Tai Chi programs. So now I can bring my followers and say, hey, go take Diane's Tai Chi, and I'm going to get a commission on that, basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
That's right.
Okay, well, we've got several questions here. Let's just start at the top here. Tyler has a great question. Does it have to be live, or can it be pre-recorded and the class set to start at a certain time?
Right. So Tyler, that's a great question. What we're striving to do is really to duplicate what's going on in the real world, because there's an element of accountability and excitement that happens in a real fitness class. Right? It's like you enter into maybe a Pilates studio or a yoga studio, and there's this level of accountability and excitement that happens in that live class that you can't get from just a typical normal workout, right? So, the point that we're at right now is we are set up to do live, for you to lead a live class, and then the class is recorded, so people that missed the class can actually go view it at another time. But in the future, we could possibly set it up that way. But the point that we're at right now is we're really striving to duplicate the excitement and the energy of what goes on in a live class, because in that live class, just like how you typed in the question here, Tyler, is your followers will be able to type in questions in real time, and so you'll be able to see those questions and answer them, and you can call them out by name. Susan, you had a great question. Your low back hurts when, you do X, Y, Z. You do the plank this way. Like, this is what I recommend. And so your following now feels like there's an interaction. When you just create a video and you post it up on YouTube, it's more like a monologue, right? It's like, oh, right, here's my video. Yeah. But when you actually create a live class, it's a dialogue, which creates a level of interaction that you can't get with the typical, video up on YouTube.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. Amboy Dean, remember meeting you in Phoenix. Hope you're doing well. He asks a question on the money. So how do you determine how much trainers get paid? I think you sort of answered that, but then he wants to know, how can a trainer make more money training? Is there a cap, and is there any sort of session limit daily? Sounds like he wants to do 5 sessions a day for you.
Oh, that's great, Ambo Dean, right? Ambo Dean?
Yep, Ambo Dean.
Yep, that's a great question. There is no cap. There is no cap on the number of sessions that you can lead, and there is no cap on the amount of money that you can make, because it's all based off of how many people that we actually have within those classes. And so there is no cap. And then what we do is we just do a split, a 50-50 split between Rally All and you. And so the greater number of people that you get in your class, and that's why when I was showing those numbers, literally, I mean, if you can get thousands of people in those classes, and you can make an incredible income online. But the cool thing is that it's not just reliant upon you to get classes, to get people into your class. It's more of a community approach to marketing, because each trainer that is jumping online is sharing it with their following. And so there's a huge opportunity, especially for jumping in right now, because we don't have thousands and thousands of trainers right now. We have 100 trainers on right now. And so we have people coming in every single day that is exposing you to people that you wouldn't have had exposure to ordinarily. To answer your question, Amber-Dean, there is no cap to the amount of money you can make or the classes that you can lead.
Okay, cool. Tyler had a follow-up question I think you already answered. He says, I have an email list already. Is there an affiliate commission if my list subscribes to Rally All? I think you answered that. It's 33% lifetime commissions. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's right.
Sven Martin, good question. Have you done anything with live classes as they are going on? So he's saying we have a small group training session with 8 clients in it. Could we set up the existing class and get it on Rally All?
Yes. So that's what Diane does actually with her Tai Chi class. And there's actually a few other trainers that have done that already, and it works great. Really, it's simply leading your normal class that you already lead, and then just creating a class on Rally All. So it's like, imagine say you have 20 people in your normal group class. It's like setting up your camera on your webcam. You allow unlimited number of people to join your group class through Rally All. So it is a great way to essentially expand your audience online and without doing any real extra work.
Yeah, and I know Diane is located really close to Sven, so if Sven wanted to pop in and see how she's setting it up, I know they're both in the Denver area. So K. Van Norman, can members take as many classes as they want a month, or is there some sort of limit?
Yes, great question, K. Van Norman. So there is a limit. So that we have set up a limit of 30 hours a month, which is essentially an hour a day of working out, which we feel is extremely high. I mean, the average person isn't gonna hit that. Few people work out an hour a day, but we have set up a cap. But we feel like very few people are going to hit. We just set up a cap so that people don't, share passwords and try to get 20 people to use a single account, and then
Sure.
So yeah.
Okay. Is there a cost or a payout differential in regards to class time? So like a 15-minute class versus a 60-minute class?
Right. So that's a really good question. So there is none. It's all based off of the minute. So it all comes down. So if you do a 60-minute and you have a 60-minute class and you have members that are participating in all 60 minutes, it really drills down to the minute. If you lead a 15-minute class, 4 15-minute classes, or you lead 1 60-minute classes, and you had 100 members in all 4 classes versus just the 1 class that was 60 minutes, you'd make the same.
Okay.
So it all comes down to the minute.
So because the members are limited to 30 hours, so they could take 4 15-minute classes a day, right?
That's right.
It works. Okay, so that makes sense. Tammy Stiller, I love this question. It looks like there are specialty workouts, high intensity intervals, Tai Chi, etc. What about workouts for boomers or balance training so that the mature clients would be interested?
Very good. Very good question. Yeah, that's a really good question. So what we're continuing to do is adding more specialties. So those are the initial specialties that we've added, but it's a good question because I've already gotten that several times that, hey, we've got to reach the baby boomer market. The baby boomer market.
Right.
And having classes that you can lead all done through your chair, sitting in a chair or whatever else. So we will continue to add more specialties. And so we love any type of suggestions that you have.
Tammy, that's exactly why the Functional Aging Institute invited Todd to do this, because we know he's going to need more functional aging specialists, and we'd like to get as many of you on there as possible, leading all kinds of stuff from kettlebells for boomers to Diane's already doing Tai Chi, and there's all kinds of stuff. So yeah, great question. Eric Jensen has a couple of questions. What would a personal website look like, or attach some sort of type of link to my current website?
A personal website, Eric. So I guess I'm assuming what you mean by personal website would be like creating a profile, a trainer profile inside Rallyall. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'll go with that, and then you can mention if that's incorrect or correct. So it was simply, I think I might have shared it with you. I shared it on the other screen. So it's essentially you can upload your pictures, and eventually we want to have. We're just 3 weeks out of the gate, so we're going to have challenges that you can issue to your people and ways to communicate to them on a more regular basis to motivate them, and badges and whole 9 yards. But really, it's like you get your bio and you can create your specialties and people can see your classes, etc. And then to answer your other question, you'll simply get a link straight to your class where people can register for your class and sign up. So again, like eventually we'll have more marketing materials and maybe a banner ad that you can put right on your website, maybe in the sidebar, or in a blog article or something.
Yeah, so people can put on their Facebook page or their blog or their website sort of a join me here live at Rallyall Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9, and that link I assume would be like their affiliate link. So then when people come into Rallyall and become members, they may take Eric's class, but they may take 50 other different classes over time too, and Eric's getting paid for all of those. Is that right?
That's right. Okay. Yep, exactly.
Interesting question from Chris. I hadn't even thought about this one. What about liability? Is that covered by Rallyall?
Yeah, so we've modeled the liability. We've actually worked with an attorney firm out here called Wilson Sonsini. They're the same ones that formulated Google, Tesla, Twitter. They're essentially kind of the biggest here in Silicon Valley, and so they created all of our agreements and whatnot. And so we have set up the agreements and the liability things. It's very similar to YouTube because since you as a trainer can't see the individual, you're more of like a live broadcasting your workout. Its liability coverage is similar to like YouTube, where it's very, it'd be, I can't say it's impossible because anyone can sue anyone for anything, but since you aren't necessarily telling Joe Schmo to do this, our attorneys have recommended that, hey, like this is similar to how YouTube has done it. Since you're broadcasting, it's kind of like an open, you're just sharing the information. So it's a great question, but of course, any type of liability coverage is great, but that's one of the reasons why we've kind of closed the gap where the trainers can't see the individual. Just for one of the reasons is for that reason.
Okay.
Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, definitely. Greg asked the same question. Can we have a few clients in our live class? And you already answered that's already something you're doing. Chris says it's really hard to teach a class and take and answer questions if it's a group class. So how does something like that work if you've got 100 online users and people are peppering in questions?
Right. So yeah, great question, Chris. So what we have found in the current classes is that typically people will answer or ask questions during it's a break period, or it's before the workout starts or after the class, after the workout ends. There are certain times within that period where that interaction, that deeper level of interaction can occur. But typically in the workout, obviously you'll want people to be doing the push-ups and not, if you're getting a bunch of questions while people are doing push-ups, then something's going on. Yeah. But yeah, great question.
Okay. Greg asks, is there a buy-in? I think you already said there's no buy-in for trainers. There's buy-in for members. Members have to pay a membership fee, and it's $14.99 a month?
Yep, $14.95 a month.
Okay.
Yeah. So individuals can sign up and then they get a 7-day free pass, and then after that 7-day free pass, then they have to pay $14.95 a month.
Okay. Tracy asks, how many members do you have currently?
Yeah, great question. So we've got about 1,500 members that we've launched out to right now.
Okay.
So we haven't, just kind of bring everyone up to speed, we haven't launched payments yet. So our developers are working on that. So we've got about 3 more weeks until payments will actually go live. But now is still a great time to create your class and start to get the feel of it. And our affiliate program does work, so you can start to bring people into the site and have them start to test some classes and kind of get the feel of it while while those individuals check out the different classes. And then anyone that you bring into the site right now is going to be tracked for life. So now is still a good time, even though we haven't turned payments on, because we're still developing that feature.
Okay. Sven, who already asked about doing live sessions with his groups, he asked, I think, a key question for the home user. Do you have an equipment list for what would make this the best online experience for your online clients, or you just tell clients you're going to need a kettlebell and a this, or how do you manage the equipment needs?
Yeah, great question, Sven. So yeah, within each class, the trainer can put in whatever equipment is needed. But the cool thing about that is eventually we'll have a separate section for listing the equipment needed. What I want to say, the cool thing about that is our future plans, and that's another reasons why I kind of get really involved and integrated now, is to create a very elaborate marketplace. And so say you're leading a class and there's say you're leading a yoga class, or a kettlebell class is a good example, and you actually recommend like kettlebells. And so what our plan is to actually connect that kettlebell to an online marketplace. And so you as a trainer, if you're leading a kettlebell class and individuals purchase that kettlebell, you get a commission off the kettlebell as well. And so there's opportunities to continue to really make more money for you as a trainer, because you're recommending, hey, this is a kettlebell that I recommend for this class, and you can purchase it right here. So there's huge opportunities for revenue. But to answer your question, Sven, yeah, so there would be a section for equipment listed to help with the user experience.
Okay. Maybe you could jump back to your how trainers get paid slide. Tyler, I'm going to encourage Tyler to reach out to you at your email address, because he's obviously interested. But he's asking, so if it's 50% per month split, 50% trainers, 50% to Rally All, if one of my clients takes another class or vice versa, somebody else's trainers list takes my class, how is the trainer actually being paid, sort of like per session, per month?
Right.
Maybe you could explain that a little bit better. But Tyler, I encourage you to reach out to Todd too. So.
Yeah, Tyler, yeah, we can go into more detail, but essentially how it works is if there is no affiliate, then this is how it's split. So 50% trainers, 50% Rally All. If there's an affiliate, say there's an outside affiliate, Joe Schmo, the affiliate, he sends the user in, then there's a 33% split. So 33% for the affiliate, 33% for the trainer, 33% for Rally All. If the trainer is an affiliate and the individual also takes that trainer's class, then the trainer is the affiliate, and they make the 33% plus the extra 33%, so they're at 66%. And I can send you more information with the details down to it, but to kind of go one layer deeper, that 33% commission stays with that trainer that brought them in, or that affiliate that brought them in, through the life of the customer, but then that extra 33% is split up to whatever classes that individual takes. So if they just follow one trainer in their class, then that trainer gets all the money. Okay. But if they follow two classes, then it splits by two. If they follow three classes, and kind of gets down deeper into the nitty-gritty of like how we split it up. But it's based off of minutes. If someone watched 30 minutes of one person, 30 minutes of another, it would be split evenly. That 33% would be split evenly. But it keeps getting down deeper and deeper. But essentially, we created a system that's fair to the trainers. And if a user watches them more, then they make more.
Okay. Are there any videos that trainers could view so they can get an idea of how you guys are doing it? That way they can see how they could make their sessions different from say other trainers, or even how they need to make it different from their current in-person training? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, you can go on to rallyall.com right now, and you can create a free account. And then you can see all the different classes that we have available, and you can even view the pre-recorded, not pre-recorded, but the recorded sessions that have already taken place, and check out some of the trainers and what they're doing and what the specialties kind of that they're focusing on.
How many current yoga instructors do you have? Trainers doing yoga?
I think a couple. I think a couple.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Sven, you heard that, so you better get Brandy in there doing some yoga. So, got a couple other questions. I have a feeling questions would come in for another half an hour. So, can a gym or a facility sign up to offer sessions this way?
Yes, yes. And so that's actually the kind of to lay out the plan. Gyms can sign up immediately. The plan was to start with individual trainers, but there's huge opportunities for gyms because they already have an existing marketplace of members. And really, you know, I've gotten some people to say, oh, this is a competitor to gyms and whatnot, and I'm like, no, actually, that may be one way to think about it, but when you look at like actual industry stats, I can't remember if I shared it with the when I was doing the presentation, but like the IHRSA, like they, you know, you guys all probably know this, but they put out those stats, industry stats and sports club association stats, and they show that 87% of people that go to the gym on a regular basis, and they define regular by 1 to 2 times per week, 87% of those people have also said that they do some type of pre-recorded workout or DVD at home on a regular basis. And so really it's a way to engage your members on a deeper level. If you have a gym and it's not a conflict of interest, it actually pulls them in deeper and allows for them to have a greater service you know, for your members. But yes, to answer your question, gyms can definitely get on board right now.
Okay, cool. So I think Tyler and I are kind of working through the math here at the same time. So, you know, you said users pay $14.95 a month, but if I send the users to you and I get 33% lifetime commission, then am I basically going to get about $5 a month? Doesn't really matter whose sessions they take. Is that kind of what I can expect as an affiliate?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Exactly right.
Okay, so I need to send you about 1,500 new clients this afternoon.
That's right.
No,
Check that off the list.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, 2 more questions here, and then I think we'll wrap up. So, how are trainers paid in terms of time frame? Is it weekly, biweekly, monthly? How often do you pay out?
Yep. Once we implement payments, then we're going to be doing monthly. So because what we do is we have to, you know, because that individual user gets access for the full month, and so we have to divvy that up based off of what classes that they, you know, watched and that type of thing. And so after that, their month ends, then that's when we calculate, you know, all the payments, and then payments go out.
Okay. 2 final questions here. Both are kind of on the technology piece of it. So, how about electronic equipment, iPhones, microphones, laptops? What piece of equipment do they need to really give the best experience for the online user?
Yeah. We haven't implemented this yet, but the best experience would be some type of Roku, you know, some type of like Apple TV on their TV, and that's really where the future is heading towards. But we're starting off with desktop application with people with their laptops or computers, but then we also have it already working on you know, tablets and iPhones.
Sorry,
and that type of thing.
sorry. I think they're asking on the trainer side, like what do they need to be using?
On the trainer, gotcha.
For recording the live session to get the best experience for the other person.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. Really, your laptop or your desktop. So,
okay.
You know, yeah, that should be fine. In terms, a lot of people have like a MacBook Air should work, but like some of the really lightweight. What is it called? The thin or something? I don't know. We have experienced some people with like, I think there's a variation of a laptop that's like really, really low processing speeds. And so that one we've experienced a little bit of problems with, but most computers have been perfectly fine.
Okay. Last question from Debbie. If I sign up as a trainer but I'm not confident in my ability to do an online class at first, how long do I have to start teaching classes?
Really, I mean, as long as you would need. We haven't thought through any type of time limit. You can sign up as a trainer and just, I don't know, I mean, you could practice, and then you could just, whenever you're ready, then you could, create your own class. And remember too, Debbie, I think that was that right, Dan?
Yep.
Debbie, remembering too that like it's a process to build up your number of people that are viewing you. And so you can start off just like how, anyone starts off like creating a fitness class where you just, and me, I'm the same way. Like I certainly wasn't confident the first time that I did it, but you just turn on your webcam and you go, and you might only have a couple people in that class at first. But as you start to build kind of your confidence and kind of get into your flow, and people start to share it and the word gets out, and then your confidence grows while the actual class gets more attendance and more membership. So it's a very organic process. But yeah, that's a great question, Debbie.
Okay, cool. All right, two final questions because they're worth answering. So what's the date that payments are set to start? When do you start billing?
Yes, so what we're anticipating is we're going to start to charge users the 3rd or 4th week of April.
Okay.
So we've got about 3 to 4 weeks. We're still developing the application to do that, the code and whatnot, and then we're going to be testing, of course, and then we'll be turning it on.
Okay. And then how does your trial membership for people work? If Tammy wants to send you 100 of her clients to try it out, how does that work?
Yeah, so she would use her affiliate code, send 100 clients to try it out, and then they get a 7-day free pass. And then whenever their 7 days ends, they no longer have access to the site, so they'll have to put in their credit card information in order to extend their membership on a month-to-month basis. But
Gotcha.
They'll be subscribed to that trainer's class, Tammy's class, and they'll be giving notifications that the class is starting and that type of thing. So there's a deeper level of engagement, especially when that trainer sends out to their own clients.
Yeah, I know we talked about the reason I keep using the term Netflix is we talked about the concept of trying to make fitness more available and easier for everyone everywhere at any time. But then, so we're sort of solving a problem that everyone universally has, right? It's like, well, I need to work out today, but I don't want to go to the gym, or I don't want to rejoin the gym, or, I don't want to do a DVD. And so you're solving a problem that we know, really hundreds of millions of people in just the U.S. have. And then when we open it up worldwide, there's really no limit to time zones and all sorts of things. But then you're also creating this environment where, after the end of 7 days, if you enjoy this experience, it's like, well, gee, I don't want to be disconnected from this community. Right. And it's only $14.95 a month to stay. So, the cost is low, and, it's sort of like, it's that Netflix experience. It's like, well, I mean, I would say my wife and I almost every 3 or 4 months are like, well, do we really need Netflix? But then the pain of turning it off and not having, a movie or a TV show to watch, would just be not worth it, So that pain of disconnect from Rally All, I can see is going to be a real thing. So especially if people like Tammy and Tyler are bringing their list of people in to take part in their sessions, and now they don't get to,
Right.
So yeah, really cool stuff you're doing here, Todd. For those of you that are still listening live or on the recording, I really just strongly encourage you to reach out to Todd. Again, his email, which he gave you, was todd@rallyall.com. So bomb away at Todd with questions, comments, and figure out how to sign up for a trainer account, because I think the opportunity here is going to be huge. Don't email me with questions about Rally All. Email Todd. So I fully embrace what you're doing here, Todd. And like I said, note to myself to get you 1,500 new members this afternoon. So thanks so much for giving us your time. And folks, reach out to Todd if you have any more questions. So thanks again, Todd.
Thank you so much, Dan. I really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for joining the webinar.